Well, good, very sunny Tuesday afternoon. Welcome back to Martin's Koi Pond and Aquatics and odd bit of fishing. It's Tuesday the 14th. We had a lovely day yesterday. Got up to sort of 16-17 degrees here during the day, although it was very windy and a few trees came down, I will say that. But not quite so warm today because the wind has switched and it's a bit of a colder wind, so it's only got up to a top temperature of about 9 today, I think. But having said that, the actual pond is at 13 degrees, would you believe it? And that's with us having snow as recently as 5 days ago. Last Friday we actually had a small covering of snow on the ground here, but now all that cold snowy water fell in the pond, yet for some reason it's at 13 degrees, which I'm not going to argue about. I think it's because it got quite a lot of sunlight over the weekend and it's had the sun on it most of today. Even though it's only been 9 degrees in the air, the sun on the pond would have been warming it up. I'm going to do a few jobs this weekend. One of them is to sort the electrics out because I've not got my float switch wired up yet, so I need to get that done just in case of an emergency. It did save the pond once before, so I know it's worth its weight. And wife and I have been having a discussion about the injuries that the Shiro and the Kahaku had, because my wife has seen a heron about early morning. It's been hanging around in the road at the back. She's seen it in the road at the back, so just the other side of this fence, early in the morning when she's walking the dog. And of course we know early in the morning is when they strike. Now when the two fish got injured, I had, badly I know, left my side net down for about a week. So I'm not saying it was definitely a heron, but the injury on the Shiro especially is right on the top of the back next to the dorsal fin, which is a strange place for him to get knocked. The Kahaku's mark is high on the back, but in the narrow part of the back of his body rather than the fat part at the front. Now if he'd done it flashing, you'd have thought he would have done it to the fatter part rather than the thinner part of his body. But both are healing up really well. Still obviously got salt in, still been treating every weekend with acroflavin. So they've actually had 3 treatments now of acroflavin, and that has definitely helped them heal along with the salt. None of the other fish are marked. There's no fish missing. The goldfish are back in the pond. I know, in out, shake it all about. They're probably going to stay in the pond now until my friend Andy gets his pond built, and then they're destined to go to his. I've got fancy goldfish in my corner tank. I've got the 4 baby Ranchu fancy goldfish in the pond, and they're fine. I'm going to grow them on in the pond. And I've got my new Oscars in the tank, which there's been a few teething problems with, but I'll update you on that next time I do an update on the tank. There you see that mark just before the red of the tail. That was bright red, that mark, and it's now mostly cleared up. But yeah, the pond's doing nicely. It's a little bit, I wouldn't say murky, but there's a bit of a discoloration in the water, and I guess that's from all the treatments of aquaflavin it's had. I would imagine once I get the UV back on, I'm going to put one UV back on soon. That will probably clear that up pretty quickly. Anyway, that's an update for now. I will be back to you probably at the weekend when I'm doing stuff. Good Sunday afternoon. Welcome back to Martin's Koi Pond Aquatics and Occasional Fishing. And as you can see, we're at 13.5 degrees today. The guys are really active. I'm going to give them a little bit of food in a minute, but look how great they look. Excuse the goldfish, but obviously, as I said in the earlier clip, I have a plan for them. They will be going to a new home at some point this year. Done a few jobs today. The old 450 litre tank, which I'm now using as a rainwater storage, I've painted the end and the top black to try and stop the water going green. Needs another coat yet. I've also removed the winter net, totally gone now, put away. So we're just operating on the fence all the way around the pond for predator protection and the jump net, which I think I'm going to keep on. I had a discussion with my wife earlier about whether to take it off or not, but we still do have one grass carp. There he is, Slim. So I'm going to keep the jump net on for now, especially since there's been a heron hanging around. It's just an extra layer of protection against that. I've got this section of fence down, which I can quite easily do, and I'm going to sit back, well-earned drink. I'm going to sit back and watch the fish for a couple of hours. It's really mild at the moment. I'm just trying to think what other jobs I've done today. Oh, I've given the Nexus a good clean this morning, and I've put on the first of the two UVs. I haven't done my electrical wiring yet. I'll put that off now to next weekend. Hopefully we'll get it done then. And I'm having thoughts about getting the Screenmatic back online, getting a new stand skimmer, because this floating one, it's not even wired up at the minute, is pretty ineffective. And putting a new stand skimmer in, hooking it up to 10,000 litre per hour vari pump, and then hooking that direct to the Screenmatic. Give me an extra amount of filtration. I mean, there's 700 pounds of filter sat there not being used, which is a bit of a waste really, isn't it? If you've got it, you need to use it really. It was either that or buy a new shower, but you know, you'd be talking about another 500 quid with the media. So I'm going to get the Screenmatic back online probably next month after I get paid. So that's the update for this week. Short video, mostly me talking, not doing a lot, but there's been lots going on in the tank, but I'm not going to show you what's going on in there until I do another aquarium video. So look after your ponds, look after your tanks, enjoy your fishing, enjoy the weather, and I'll catch you in the next one.